Good evening, everyone. Do you see my screen? Are you able to hear me? Okay. So we'll try to see we have today and tomorrow just 2 days, right? So we'll try to finish it up interview questions of QTP. So Monday I will start up with uh, what do you say? Load runner. Okay. Any questions before starting interview questions? Anybody? No questions? Okay. So let us suppose you are putting or you are updating your resume with QTP. So if that is the case, if you go for interview, what is the first question you will come across? I will unmute and we'll get some disturbance. So you have to work on the disturbance, means please mute from your side. So it's like interactive way, right? So if I unmute, you cannot. Okay, so that's why you don't want to see disturbance, means please unmute whoever not talking. Okay, so whenever you want to talk, you unmute from your side and speak, so that is way will avoid disturbance. Okay, so if you go for interview, what is the first question you will come across? Is it, tell me about yourself, right? Okay, tell me about yourself. So what is your answer? Each and everybody should tell. What do you say? Oh, yeah, quick. Yeah. Okay. 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 And then. Okay. 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 That's it. Okay. So good. These are the different stuff you will be able to answer if you will be into manual testing. But let us assume you are putting or you are updating with your automation, let us assume, in your resume at the time. So addition to this, we may go for little bit more. So that is nothing but like what is your name, what is your total experience. Okay, mention how many years in manual testing, how many years you are into automation testing. Okay, so your what is your basic qualification, which all are domains you worked, which all are domains you worked, which all are technologies you worked, which all are technologies you worked. Okay, so then uh, come to how many years you worked in automation, how many years you worked in automation. So what is your current project, what is your current project, current roles and responsibilities in front of automation. You try to say like current project you are completely automation tester, you'll get good impression. Okay, completely automation tester means you will be to but some projects you may involve partially automation and partially manual testing, but even that one also you can convenience. But if you go for complete automation tester, even that is good. So which are the roles you will say? Automation framework, you are involved in automation framework development. So before that you say which type of framework you were implemented. You were implemented for this project. Okay, mostly hybrid framework only. For this project we were implemented like hybrid framework. So different roles we played is like automation framework development. Then what else roles you will play? Mostly test script development, test script reviewing. If you have one more experience like 4 or 5 years, you are putting letters also you are having. Okay, so test script execute reviewing, automation test suite execution. Okay, then yeah, exactly. See, their script development means making reusable actions, making functions, everything gets involved. Especially, you have to mention means even that is also good. Absolutely no problem. Okay, yeah, exactly. Okay, 1 year means just even you can review automation framework development. Even you can mention. See, it doesn't mean like 1 year you have means. It depends on your confidence. If you are good, you can mention 1 or 2 years also you can mention, absolutely no problem, but it depends on your confidence. Okay, automation test suite development, even you can mention like automation process implementation, automation test strategy. Okay, so bug reporting and tracking, this is as usual common, whatever the rate, whatever the role you are playing. Okay, so try to explain all this stuff very high level, like automation framework development, involved in new test script development, reviewing the test scripts whenever you get release, exactly like this you don't say. Okay, you try to come up with good sentences. Okay, so executing the test cases whenever test suite, whenever you get release, and even automation process. What is automation process? You are aware of, right? So automation strategy, bug reporting and tracking, these are the roles you are playing in your current project, and your implemented hybrid framework for your current project. So how it works? Hybrid framework means whenever you get release, you don't want to touch anything manually. So how it works is like we're having master driver for driving whole of your framework. Okay, start from master driver. So in our framework we were having master driver, so drives whole of your framework. Okay, so what it does is like before that how you can mention is like before starting or before going for like execution, before starting execution what we do is like we go for inputs.xls, we try to update with the required test data. Okay, required test data will update with the inputs.xls, and in our framework at uh, master driver folder we're having like night execution.xls or batch.xls. Night execution.xls file, what it does have like 1000 scripts or 500 scripts, whatever is your automated, all those scripts along with uh, like execution status, whether you want to execute or not, execution flag. So which test you want to execute, you will update with execution flag and go for double clicking master driver .vbs. Okay, so what it does is like whatever the test scripts you mention under night execution.xls, it will open one by one, it will execute. While executing each and every test script, it will connect in middle like reusable actions, and even while executing reusable actions we are passing test data in the form of like xls file, right? So it will fetch the data from xls file and it will pass data to those reusable actions. Okay, so again for reading data from xls, how it works, you have to come up with like VB-script functions, right? So for reading data from XLS, again we were come up with like read from Excel or generate or something like that, some function libraries. So those one we are maintaining at like function library dot VBS. Okay, so function library dot VBS where it will available is like under function library folder. Okay, so that is how like whatever you have folder structure in your framework, instead of telling directly what you are doing, you are trying to come up with small story. Okay, so including all the folder structure. So your implemented hybrid framework, what exactly it does is like start from master driver. So while going home you just double click on master driver, so tomorrow, yeah, whenever you come you will be able to see report kind of stuff to your email. Okay, so exactly what it does is like master driver, double click on master driver. So before clicking what you do, data you will update, input data and execution, which test scripts you have to execute. So that one you will update at your night execution.xls. Then you'll double click on master driver and go home. So what it does is like it will open your qtp, open qtp first. Okay, open test scripts whatever you mention at night execution.xls. Open test scripts one by one, whatever you mention at night execution.xls, then it will execute each test script. It will execute. While executing, connect connect reusable actions. So you are implemented reusable framework, right? Hybrid framework is nothing but both reusable as well as data driven. So connect reusable actions. Where you are maintaining reusable actions? Under reusable actions folder. Reusable actions folder. So while executing reusable action, okay, while executing reusable action, it should read data, right? It should read data. From where it will read data? Inputs .xls. Where is present in your folder? Inputs folder. Okay, so we are maintaining inputs.xls file in our inputs folder, so it will read data from inputs.xls file. But for reading data, we come up with different functions like read data from xls file, read data from xls.xls. okay, read data from xl, like this functions we come up with. So those functions we were maintaining a function library. So this function library, what exactly it's available is like reading data from xls, and even while executing what it does, it will generate two types of reports, like summary report and in detail report. Again, summary report and in detail report, how it will generate? With the help of functions. Again, you come up with a couple of functions. So all those one you are maintaining at function library folder. And finally, results gets generated under test results folder. Okay, both summary and in detail gets generated at results folder. Okay, under results folder. And middle, what is the folder you left? Recovery. Even to handle unexpected kind of situations, like to handle unexpected events, recovery scenario also we are maintaining. So under those recovery scenarios, where we'll mention is like recovery scenario folder. Here you stop, you'll get really very good impression. Okay, see, you don't say like 10 minutes or 20 minutes, so you have to come in such a manner like you frame all this one within 2 or 3 minutes. Okay, so first your basic stuff, then roles and responsibilities in your current project. What is the framework you implemented? Here itself you explain exactly which kind of framework you are implemented. Okay, so and stop finally. So this is the stuff normally or usually I go for. Okay, so like this, whatever you feel comfortable, you can frame and accordingly you can explain. Then what is your next question? If you stop here, what exactly your hybrid framework does? You already explained. Okay, but they may again come up with like how exactly your master driver works. You say like or master driver, what exactly it's containing. You start up with master driver means they may ask you how exactly your master driver you come up with. You know, right? So first VB script you come up with for launching your QTP. That is the flow you try to explain. Okay, so then you are opening test script, executing test script, reading that test result status you are fetching. At the end of the test script execution, you are updating the where you are updating night execution.xls result pass or fail or with comments. That is how we come up with okay. Then immediate question they may come up you like what is your function library, how exactly. So function library you are having like read data from xls file and summary kind of report and in detail kind of report functions you were kept there, right? Even those one they may ask you uh, if you are good in writing absolutely is good you can go, and by chance if you forgot some steps what you do is like pseudo kind of code you come up with, try to come up with your code, okay, it's 4 or 5 lines just. Otherwise if you forgot by chance 1 or 2 steps you come up with pseudo kind of code, algorithm kind of stuff, okay. Exactly logic, what is the logic you come up, so that is the logic you can implement, okay. So then immediately they may ask you what is the automation process you are following. What is your answer? Sorry? Exactly. So test plan. Exactly. So first you go for like feasibility study. So what is feasibility study? Whether for this application it's good to go for automation or not. So once you decide it's good to go for automation, what you do is like uh, atom exactly that is what your next step. So before that even you go for which tool is best suited to go for automation. Once you decide your tool, then what all are the test cases you are having, you'll pick up those test cases and divide them into two categories, like which we can automate and cannot automate. Means like here it's not absolutely like you cannot automate. If you want to automate you can go for 100% automation, but the thing here is like which are the modules is frequently getting changed. It's not good to go for automation those kind of modules, right? So that is why stable functionality related test case you'll pick up to go for automation. That is nothing but which we can automate and cannot automate. So what are the test cases you're picked up to go for automation, you'll plan next like which type of framework is best suited to go for automation. Obviously you go for like hybrid framework, okay. So for most of the projects you will come across situation like making reusable access as well as may get a chance to execute in multiple environments. So you can go for data driven framework. So that is nothing but like you're planning once very high level you decide like which type of framework you'll start up from recording. Normally recording you don't say, okay, then directly you start up with your test scripting, okay, test scripting. So what are the test cases got assigned for you, you'll come up with like converting manual test cases to automation. So once you make your script perfect you yourself review it once, then you'll send it to your colleagues. Even before sending that script for review to your colleague, what you do is like you'll try to make sure it should get executed in any of the environment. Like the main purpose of automation executes automation is like needs to be executed in multiple environments and multiple releases. So what you have to do is like at least once in each and every environment you have to execute once. Then you'll send it for review. What is the review come to your team lead or your colleague or automation expert who is having in your project. Then once you get review comment you will update with your review comment, okay. So before that even debugging also you can mention, okay. Then once you make your script perfect move it to regression automation shoot. Then onwards whenever you're getting like release you'll be able to execute all of your test automation shoot against latest release, okay. So whenever you execute your some of the test scripts may get passed and some of the test scripts may get failed. Whatever the test scripts got passed you don't want to look for. So what are the test scripts got failed, what you have to do is like why those test scripts got failed, why those test scripts got failed, any idea? Yeah, exactly, okay. So if it is your test script issue, you have to update with your test script. Means again, code changes in your development or change request from client in any either of the way. Okay, so what you have to do is like you have to update with your test script, and if it is really a defect in your application, due to issue in your application, now your test script got failed, means you have to report it to developer for fixing and track. So this is the kind of automation process you will be following. Okay, so you're going for interview means first in automation front he is good in, means these are the kind of questions you will come across. Framework, first you will start up from framework, then how you are answering depends on your answers, it will go in a sequence. And remember another thing, you don't go in into your way, you bring him in your control. Like however you are answering, he will come to your control. Okay, so at the time you remember one thing, whatever the stuff you are aware of 100% clear, only those words, those terminology, those concepts you try to mention every time whenever you are answering whatever question it is. So during framework process, okay, this time whatever the stuff you are aware of, see, now immediately he will ask you like how you are generating your test script. Okay, so reusable framework you are implemented. If you ask what is reusable framework, how you are developing your reusability, something like that. Okay, like that you will come up with. So that is what however you are answering, actually interviewer will be having some setup questions initially, but later the you have to bring him in your control. Okay, then these are the different questions you will come across. We go one by one. Okay, what is QTP? It is one automation functionality testing tool. So what is full form of QTP? Quick Test Professional. So what is the basic concept of QTP? To automate, okay, so applications, right? So to come up with a test automation for whatever the project you are working. What is the active screen? This is your day, you have to answer, you have to talk much. Every day I'm talking, right? You are hearing just. Today if you talk, I'll hear. Exactly. So if you are recording in your automation, means each and every action whatever you are performing in your application, QTP automatically take or captures screenshot and store into active screen. Okay, so that is nothing but like active screen. And another thing is like uh, okay, so let me launch QTP. There are different pains you will come across. So that one you should be aware of. We'll see those pains. Like a data table you will come up with. What is the purpose of data table? That is QTP built-in feature like to pass data to your test scripts. So that is nothing but data table active screen. So whenever you record any of the action in your application, QTP gets capture that action and stores with your test. Okay, that is active screen. Like that, which are the different frames you will come across? Debug viewer pane, debug viewer pane, right? So what is the purpose of debug viewer pane? Here if you go for view active screen, okay, available keywords if you go for, so which are the available keywords are nothing but like function library, local functions and test objects. Function library, if you are using any of the function library to your test script, what I do is let me open create an account. Okay, so function libraries, see, at the time it was okay. Initially I don't open my create an account, I don't open create an account. So if I go for, see, no keywords available. When I open create an account, okay, so you see keywords you come up, right? What are the keywords? Which are the different functions available in that function library? Everything is getting listing. Like that, if there are any local functions you are using means even those one also it will get displayed. And test objects, those are nothing but like local objects you are using in your script, like shared object repository. But if there are any local objects, it will get listed under test objects folder. Okay, so these are nothing but like available keywords. And here no objects are there, seems okay. So resources, associate repositories, okay. See, whenever even it's getting listing like even your shared object repository object also, how many objects are available, everything here is getting listing. Okay, so this is the purpose of like your object I mean like available keywords, data table, debug your pane. What is the purpose of debug your pane? For debugging purpose it will be helpful for you. Okay, so what variables command, at the time I was explained very in detail. So then information pane, what is the purpose of information pane? That is one thing. Another thing is like there are any syntactic or logical errors. Okay, I'm trying to save. Actually, the thing is, the purpose of information pane is if something wrong in your test script, it will give you like syntactic error or something like that automatically. But here it's not giving. I'm not sure what is the reason, but that is the purpose of your information pane. Okay, this is wrong syntax, right? Okay, it should throw you line number also. It will give you. That is the purpose of like your information pane. Then missing resources. Uh, Before that, which are the resources you will get a chance to use with any of the skill? Any idea? Exactly, library files, only libraries, no input files. Yeah, input files also. Yeah, that is library functions, right? Yeah, exactly. Shared object repository. Shared object repository, function library, only those two. Reusable actions, recovery scenario also, right? Okay, reusable actions, recovery scenario. Okay, so any one of these were missing means it will display all those one here. Okay, so that is the purpose of like missing resources. It's very important here. Okay, missing resources mean process guidelines. This is some just material information kind of stuff. Okay, so that is process and resources. What are the resources? All those one different resources it will get displayed here. Again, function libraries, those recovery scenarios, and object repositories and function libraries also. Okay, reusable actions included. Those are nothing but like resources you'll use, right? All those one it will get listed here. Okay, all those one gets listed here. Then test flow. This is important. So whenever you have multiple reusable actions in your test script, which one will execute first, which one it will go next, in which flow those reusable actions your script will execute. That is what it will show you in your test flow. Okay, then today you are automating some script, something got pending, you put leave, you going on vacation for 2 weeks. After 2 weeks you may forget, right? So as soon as you come back, you have to start up exactly from there. At that time even you can come up with like to do kind of stuff for that test script, whatever you have pending. So those one you can take a note and save it, go home. Whenever you open this test script, it will give you like which are the actions you have pending for this test script. It will give you, you'll work on those one, and later you can continue with whatever you have planned. Okay, so this is nothing but like to do pane. All these one are very very important. You should be aware of like what is what exactly. Okay, so these are the different panes you will come across in your QTP. Any questions? Test pane. Test pane will be having two views. That means like QTP. So what are those two views? Okay. So what is the keyword or shortcut key you will use for switching keyword view and expert view? I told some point of time. Control, control tab. Okay, control tab is for start and test. Okay, test and start page. You have to go for means control tab you are going for. Okay, right? So control page up or alt page up. Just a second. Okay, control page up or page down. Anything you can use. Okay, control plus page up or page down. Anything you can use for shifting. These are shortcut keys. You may get a chance to ask like certification or something like that. Even what is the shortcut, these shortcut keys you remember before going your certification. Unlock recording, low level recording, run from step, all these shortcuts you remember before going for your, even this one new open. Okay, so they will at least 2 or 3 questions you will come across by covering this one. Okay, damn sure. So that is nothing but like your basics. Then what is the purpose of data table, what is the purpose of test tree? Means test flow you can say. Okay, older version they were come up with like test tree. Nowadays they made it a test flow. What is the purpose of keyword view? What is expert view? Answers. Whatever that recording it will give you like in the form of keywords. Okay, that is nothing but keyword view. In how many tabs you will see in keyword view, how many columns? Action, operation, item, value. Okay, On which item, which operation you are performing, what is the value and what is the documentation. And sometimes, no, normally 6 steps you will come across. Only those are by default you will be able to see 4 columns like standard. What is standard? Automation. No. Oh, yes, this is a toolbar. Sorry. Column, if you click item, operation, value, documentation, then assignment, comment also. Okay, assignment, comment also you will come up with. Which keyword you use for normal recording? F3. Exactly like the expert view. What is expert view? Your test script. Step by step your programmatic test scripts. Okay. What is normal recording shortcut key? F3. So what is the shortcut key for running or stopping? So for running F5. For stopping, either recording or running. You have to stop recording or running means you can go for F4. You have to stop recording or running. Unlock recording. Shift Alt F3. Low level recording. Control Shift F3. However, if you shift unlock recording means Shift Alt F3 ALT and unlock AA common, right? Shift Alt Control you will use for recording. Okay. So Shift Alt F3 for unlock recording. Control Shift for low level recording. That is what how you feel comfortable you can remember. Hmm. Okay, what is the keyword for switching tree view and expert view? Control tab. Okay, it's not a keyword view and expert view. This is wrong here. Keyword view and expert view means control page up or page down you use. So tree view and expert view means control tab. Yeah, that is correct. But in transaction, this is normally you will use in load runner. Okay, so in order to fetch performance results you will be making every action a transaction. That is what I will explain you during load runner. What is quick test window? So whatever you see nobody will ask you. Okay, just be aware of these are the different stuff will be available, right? Keyword driven testing. So where you can get your software, this link I'm sure it doesn't work, so you can go for like you can search in Google. Okay, this link doesn't work, I know. Okay, okay, you search it up whenever you have time. So what is the purpose of like static unlock recording? What is unlock recording and when you go for keyboard mouse movements cannot record during your normal recording. At the time you go for analog recording. So you have to capture signatures or graphs practical. Okay, so that time you go for analog recording. How to start a recording using quick test professional? Yeah, there are three ways. Okay, record button from automation toolbar or automation record button option. Okay, or F3 shortcut key. How to save? This is what you are aware of, simple stuff. Okay, how to run F4 F5 we can go for. How to open a new test. Okay, how to connect to database through QTP, a RevoDB connection object. What are the features and benefits of your QTP? Which are you read in your QTP? Everything you can say like features of your QTP. Okay, so which environment it should support? Very simply, simple answer is like all environment it will support. What all are available in your IT industry? All it will support. QTP testing process. You are aware of, right? What is testing process? Yeah. How QTP identifies the objects? How many types of recording modes available? Okay. So how does QTP identify the object? First it will go for monetary properties, then assistive properties, ordinal identifier, index location, creation type. And what is smart identification mechanism? Normally the thing is, while recording, it will look for monetary properties. That means like which properties enough for identifying that object. It will learn and gets stored into your object repository. Let us suppose by chance that description, whatever the test have in your object repository, doesn't provide unique identification. What QTP does? Five properties it was stored, let us assume. Five properties it was stored while learning in your object repository. So those five properties are not providing unique identification. QTP automatically enables smart identification mechanism and look for few more additional properties. Like here you see original description. Five properties it was stored. My class, image type, HTML tag, something like that. But those properties doesn't provide a unique identification. That's why it's automatically enabled smart identification mechanism and base filter properties, optional filter properties it's going for. Base filter properties means my class and HTML tag it was looking for. Even those two properties also doesn't provide unique identification. Then it was looking for alt. 10 matches it found. Image type if it add 3 matches. HTML ID whenever it adds 3 matches. Name 3 matches. Whenever it uses like name home.gif, it provided one match. So yeah, whenever it found uniquely, don't want to go for additional properties, right? See class, visible and width simply ignored. This is nothing but like your smart identification mechanism. Okay, so normally it will automatically, if you want to disable you can disable. How you can disable is like either from file settings, if you go run, okay, disable smart identification mechanism during running. Okay, if you don't want you can check, but it's always best practice you enable. Okay, okay, so what are the types of object spaces available? Per action object repository you will call it as, okay, local older version of your QTP. Okay, per action object repository and shared object repository. Mostly you go for shared object repository. And remember, what are the difficulties you will face if you go for like shared object repository? Immediate question you will come across. What are the difficulties you will face? Okay, okay, that is one thing. That is advantage, right? But I'm asking about like disadvantages. The thing is like uh, Word or Excel, someone is like shared. All team members at a time doesn't allow you to modify, right? Exactly like that, shared object files also uh, cannot allow you to modify for multiple people at a time. That means like single person can modify. That is one disadvantage. And another major disadvantage is like someone joined in the team as a fresher. By chance, some object he deleted. It will get impact all of your automation, right? Okay, entire automation will impact. So these kind of issues you may face. But how to work on these issues? So to work on these kind of issues, so if you are implementing shared object repository, you then get provide all team members don't be having access to your object repository, shared object repository. Only who is having expert, that means team lead or framework head, he will be having all the privileges. Okay, so you don't have access you can access, but you don't be having modification privileges. Okay, so but you are automating some test script, some object you found it was not available in your object repository, then how you go ahead with your automation? At that time you will request your team lead like this object I don't find, then your team lead will add on behalf of you, then you'll proceed with your automation framework development. That is how it handles when you are implementing shared object repository. Okay, so majorly this is the drawback, this is the difficulty you will come up with. And another advantage, another disadvantage is like at a time one person can allow. And another advantage, another disadvantage is like it's little bit difficult to maintain. Why means any object changes or something like that you come up means you have to go, you have to find out where exactly it is and how to update means it's a bit hard. Okay, so these are the difficulties. Explain the checkpoints. What is checkpoint? What is verification point? What is validation point? Okay, so all this one there are so many different checkpoints available. All this one you can remember, but mostly you'll go for using like standard checkpoint. So which environment is supported by standard checkpoint? All environments. What is image checkpoint? Is it available in our latest version? No, it's not available. Image checkpoint not available. Okay, yeah, exactly. Okay, what is bitmap checkpoint? Which environment it supports? Bitmap checkpoint supports all environments, even dynamic images also. What is table checkpoint? Which environments are supported by table checkpoint? Okay, so what is the text checkpoint? When you go for text checkpoint, normally during initial days you went for text checkpoint for validating whether specific object have a specific text or not. But that one you can validate with standard checkpoint itself. So why you want another checkpoint like text checkpoint? That is the reason text checkpoint is nothing but text area checkpoint. Okay, so that is what you can explain. Okay, so which environment supports text checkpoint? Only web-based applications. No, text checkpoint only web-based applications. Text area supports all environments. Okay, how do you add page checkpoint? Page checkpoint is nothing but your accessibility checkpoint. Okay, page checkpoint you may get confused. That is accessibility. To validate exactly standards of that page. That is nothing but page checkpoint only, right? Okay. So how to analyze test results using QTP? Okay. How to clear the auto cache? So this is the way. Even I'm also new. Okay. It's like clearing temporary files up kind of stuff. Okay. How to create output value? What is the purpose of output value? When you go for output value, sorry. Exactly. Okay. Property of a particular object you will store for future reference purpose. That means object properties are frequently changing. At the time you have to validate, means how you go for with the help of output property. Okay. So everything you will come up with. What is database checkpoint? I explained. Okay. Yeah, here I mentioned. So what is the use of output property in test optional? So what is regular expressions? When you go for output property is like complete property is varying, you go for output property. Part of the property is varying, you go for regular expression. Okay, that is what you have to remember. There are so many regular expressions available in your QTP. Those one you go for. So why divide a test into actions? Because of why you divide? Because of modularity. Okay, reusability you have to implement means you will divide the test into actions. Debug your pen, what exactly it will contain? Watch variables command. What is the latest version of QTP? How to call function present in DLL file? You can use call that file here. Okay. So I have n iterations of your test run in QTP. I want to see the results of not only the latest iteration, but once you execute, it will give you like iteration by iteration 1 2 3 4 5. One, if you click, it will get expand that iteration like that. You can go for. Okay. So how can we do block commenting in QTP? How do we block commenting in QTP? Rem is one thing, another thing is like block. How to block up means like this one, you select block of statements. Okay, your comment and comment. Okay. Or control M shortcut key, control shift M and comment. Okay. What is the hotkey that can be used for hitting space? Okay, space you have to hit means object. So here what is object? Browser dot page dot specific object you can view. Okay, object means anything, your desktop object or specific object, something. Okay, what are the three categories of steps you will come across in your step generator? What you will come across? Category, object and operation. Category, object and operation. And category, if you take test object, utility objects and functions. Okay, you cover both the category, object, operation, test object, utility object and functions. This is what you remember: test object, utility object, functions. Okay. So can you select multiple recovery scenario for the trigger event? Yeah, you can select, no issues. What are the components of recovery scenario? Okay, triggering the event, recovery operation, post recovery, and what is virtual object? When you go for virtual object, exactly. Okay, so QTP doesn't provide recognize means you can go for like virtual object. So during virtual object, what you do is like, okay, what you do during virtual object, you will try to perform four steps. What are those four steps? Map that unrecognized object to one of the standard object. You can show boundaries to that object to your QTP tool. Then you will add that one to some collection, then you give name. Oh, sorry, you will give name for that object, and finally you will add that name to collection. These are the four steps you will try to perform. When do we use analog recording to record? QTP unable to record specific or graphs or signatures. When do we go for low level recording? QTP unable to provide or unable to recognize the object means at the time we go for low level recording. Which object repository type can you create using object repository manager? Okay, which repository type you will create? Shared object repository. Okay, shared object repository you will use. You will create. Okay, this one very important. Uh, what are the extensions for test script? Paraxin object repository, shared object repository, Mercury test script, MTS. That is what you can remember very easily. MTR, TSR. In Andhra, TRS property is there, right? TSR, that is for shared object repository. Test shared repository. Test shared repository. Okay. MT, like that if you remember, another one is test repository, right? MTR, MTS, TSR. How you feel comfortable? You remember, okay? So name the object repository type which quick test pro saves information about objects and during runtime, during record time. What it will go for? Per action. Which query tool used to query database using query wizard? MS query. So where do we use custom checkpoints? Standard checkpoint does not work means you can go for like customizing the checkpoints. So why do you create text checkpoint on web application? How do you create, or why do you create? In which dialog box do you check web to load Yardins for a web application? Yardin manager during startup. How can you insert report event in future? Normally, insert step report you go for, or another way. Exactly, reported at report event. Okay, that is what available. I never use this option now. Insert, where it is insert. Where is step? So, yeah, yeah, right, yeah, right. Uh, Insert. Why is not? Uh-huh. Not sure. Mm, not sure. Okay, but it's, okay. You are aware of, right? So that is what you remember. Okay. Document step is optional. Step generator, in which step well perform step generation operation, document step is optional. Remaining all operations something like that you should do. Okay. What is the purpose of step generator? You can go for like utility objects or test objects, or yeah, recovery scenario you cannot go for. So what is created by default with new action? This is important. Okay. So function library, new reusable action, test script, even folder also, local data sheet. Function library is not, sorry. So local per action object repository, not local object repository. Latest version they made it like per action. Where do you set action iterations for a specific action? While calling one iteration, two iterations. Okay, like this you can set it up. Three iterations and n iterations, something like that. Okay, another thing, insert call to existing action. Your iterations you are not getting, right? uh, we go for iteration action, then edit action, action call properties you have, right? Parameters used by external action. So uh, insert, no, if you go for like edit action call properties, here you can mention, but it's not working here. I said earlier also, what you can do like here, one iteration, two iteration, three iteration you can give directly, but five iteration, six iteration you cannot give. Up to some extent, like maximum two or three it will allow. Okay. That's how it works. The action call properties, normally here I have given the action call properties, right? But how it work real, I'm not sure. I tried a couple of times. If I found out, I'll come up with a resolution. Okay. So which action can you use only within the test which is created? Yeah. How can you make a checkable flexible? That means like it should test everything, right? Okay. So what is the purpose of input parameters? How many ways we have to set checkpoints? How many ways you can set? Okay. Insert menu, keyword view, a screenshot. How do you determine checkpoint use? Okay. How do you determine if a checkpoint is used in a test? With the help of keyword like checkpoint. Why do you use regular expressions in your test? Part of the property is very means you go for regular expressions. Depends on requirement, right? So anywhere you can use during your shared object repository or local object repository or something. Okay. Or while creating recovery scenario, while inserting even anyway, wherever you get like property, even descriptive programming also, VB scripting also, you will go for like inserting regular expression. When QTP uh, enable you to specify a synchronization point, it's very important here. This is what you remember. Okay. So what is object class, object and class? Zip, this one we never use, but just be aware of. How do you determine whether your test failed or passed? What does missing resources mean? Okay. What is the purpose of loading add in? That means you are enabling object model. Is it possible to test web-based application with WinRunner? Exactly. Even QTP also, but QTP is latest version. Text check yeah, difference between like image checkpoint and bitmap checkpoint. At the time I was explained very well. What does it mean when a checkpoint is in red color? That means it's failed. Okay. So you have to analyze why it's failed. If it is really a application issue, you have to report it as a defect. Okay. You have to report it as a defect. So we stopped at 100. So remaining one will continue tomorrow. Okay. So before ending, anybody having any questions? Yeah. Oh, okay, okay. Yeah, I remember. I will find out Srikanth. Okay. I'll find out and I will send it to you. Okay. Any more questions? Okay, that's fine. Thanks for your time. Okay. Have a good night. See you.